Welcome to RPG Blokes. Today we're following little Mark's mission to win a golden demon in Milwaukee. Yes, he's flying to America so a panel of strangers can judge one miniature. So in this episode, and we're focused on why he's doing it and what's pushed him to look beyond the UK scene, what's frustrated him in previous attempts, what does he actually hope to achieve, and what would count as success or disappointment. And we'll talk about the model he's chosen too. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
So you mentioned in our interview when we did the miniatures episode, you had this idea to go to America and to go to the games day there. And during the course of that interview, it became quite obvious that you seem to be a little bit frustrated with the UK scene and potentially had seen somebody else gain success and recognition by taking their work somewhere else in the world. And you thought, why the hell not? I mean, is that where it comes from, your frustration with the UK Golden Demon scene?
Kind of, yeah. So Games Workshop's been in the UK since, 76? And they've been running Golden Demon since, I think, 78, if my memory's right. In the UK, there's quite a lot of very good painters. Because America's so big, it's only generally the people in the state that it can attract. It's a better chance of getting somewhere, I think. Plus, you're not against the same people, because flying over to America, obviously, getting a hotel, doing all that, takes money and time.
Even if they were there, their work wouldn't be as recognisable, so perhaps they wouldn't get the same advantage.
Yeah, but, exactly that, yeah.
I don't know how comfortable you are sort of digging out the UK Golden Demon scene. Are you comfortable with saying what you feel about that and the disadvantage? Do you obviously think you're as good as these other guys that are winning, right?
No, I don't know. I don't be hubris to turn around and say I think I'm as good as them. Golden Demon used to be the single model on itself, how well you can paint that. But now it's more about the theme, if that makes any sense. The entire model, so the base, the story. And some of the people that have won Golden Demons in America, they've told a brilliant story, but their painting's not that clever. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad, but compared to these people that spend 1,000 hours painting a sword and stuff like that, it's all story based. So the models I'm entering are story based. So I've got a Blood Bowl scene where there's two very famous star players in there racing after each other. I'm going to paint this very famous Knights Panther model, which me and you remember from being kids.
Yeah, so not just one figure, you're taking across the two of those and one additional?
I know a few more. No, so there's going to be 6 categories, and I'll try and enter as many as I can. At the moment, I've got 2 entries completed. So the Blood Bowl one and the 40k one. This Warhammer model, which is an old world model, and then I'm going to do a Lord of the Rings model, I think.
Okay, we'll talk about those models again in a bit more detail later in the podcast. But for now, Jez, just talking about the UK scene, your reasoning really for giving this a go. So you feel that you're at a disadvantage when entering into the UK Golden Demon?
Yeah, because like I said, there's 7 Slayer Sword winners, and they all talk to each other. I know they talk to each other because I've been at a Golden Demon event, having entered, seeing them talking to each other. And they're friendly. They're not nasty. I'm not saying they're nasty people, but the point I'm trying to make is like, imagine entering Formula One for the first time, and in front of you there's 7 teams that have all won the Formula One championship, and then you're a brand new bloke. It'd be nigh on impossible to win. Occasionally there are some diamonds in the rough that appear out of nowhere and just do something that's just bonkers, and they win. Not in Europe though. It's one of those 7 people generally.
Just not happening. So Games Workshop obviously want to make it an elite thing to be a part of, be in the order of people that have won the Slayer Swordos, and then it's a closed shop. Maybe there's some balance that needs to be struck.
Like I said, the idea, once you've won the Slayer Sword, that should be you done. You're one of, 28 people in the world to have won it. You could either get the honour of maybe judging the next year, or there'd be a Slayer Sword winner category, something that only they get to enter. Could you imagine how prestigious that would be to not only win the Slayer Sword, like a premiership of painters. So to get into that cabinet, because it'd only be one cabinet, to get into that cabinet, you've had to have won something that only 28 people have won. And now you're in it and you get to enter one model in it. That would elevate everything. That would just they would go balls to the wall to try and do it. It'd be a completely different level.
But in the absence of that, then take this opportunity to visit America. That's in itself something, partly a holiday.
Yeah, never been to Milwaukee. Plus, my missus, she loves to travel. Get her to experience the joys of a bunch of sweaty men with Lynx Africa in a big room. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something to look forward to. So she's quite supportive of this then. And have you got your flights booked already? Are you basing your flight bookings on whether you're happy with the figures you've eventually painted? How's that?
Yeah, I think we'll leave it closer to the time, like. But you know, there's negotiation to be had. Taking my missus to a big room full of sweaty blokes that look at little models for a cabinet from 5 feet away is a difficult sell. You know,
Yeah, it's not the holiday of a lifetime, is it?
it's not no, it's not like the Maldives. It'll be good to go there. Some moral support, I think. Yeah.
So America is different. Fresh judges, fresh eyes, and you said almost hinted already. You've hinted already. It's a different painting culture. They'd be more open to a different style or different type of submission.
Yeah. So Golden Demon over there has only run for about 5 to 10 years.
Is this the American Golden Demons, or is it the state-based Golden Demon?
No, it's the American Golden Demon.
It is.
So exactly that. So your brain tells you that because it's in America, there'll be 5,000% more people that go there. But me and you forget how big America is. You know, like you said, you've hit the nail on the head. It's going to be new judges with a new atmosphere in a new process. My eyesight's going, right, like all of us as we get old. And I want to give it one last chance, one last roll of the dice where I'll throw everything at it. And
so what is it you want out of it? What would be a success? Is it possible to come back with a Slayer sword from this? You'd find out at the time.
Mark, to give you an idea of Slayer sword winners, so like this horse that I've been painting, they would paint not only the eye, they would do the iris, then they would do the colour of the eye, and then they would shade that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's beyond your ability, is it?
It's not beyond my ability, but I don't think I'll be able to do it as good as they do it. Who knows? It's all to do with the judges at the time. This is a very famous piece of artwork that I'm copying, and it will get nostalgia votes. So it should get noted. What I really want to come back with is either a finalist pin, which is the step. So like I explained beforehand, you have all the categories. They filter down to 5, and those 5 people get a pin. And then out of those 5, 3 get trophies.
For a finalist pin, would that be success? If you're travelling back on the plane, you're happy with that?
Yeah. Very happy, yeah.
Because you've achieved that in the UK, right? So you've been to that stage in the UK.
Yeah, I got them here, yeah.
How many finalist pins do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. That's frustrating. You've never gone beyond that to the final 3.
It's because I live in the real world where you live, and painting, like any hobby, can end up consuming you. I have a job, I have a partner, I have my kids, and something's got to give. So I paint when I can now, instead of it being all consuming. And the people that do this spend thousands of hours. That's their job. They literally create these masterpieces, and they have like Patreon, and they have painting classes and all that sort of stuff. And I'm not at that level. I can paint, just to give myself a little bit of gratitude, I can paint to a very good level quite quickly. So all the models I gave each of you took me about 5 hours to paint. So I can get to a relatively good level relatively quickly. It's just that step, isn't it? It's like the first division to the Premiership. It's like this, just it's a golf.
So I don't paint, but I'd have thought after you've spent a certain amount of time on it, it's like, you've got to know when to stop. But like drawing, isn't it? There was always a point where you should have put the pencil down. That doesn't seem to apply with figure painting by the sounds of it.
No. One of the ideas I had about the armour that I've got on this model was to paint fleur-de-lis like they've been embossed into the metal.
Yeah, you mentioned,
Yeah, and I gave it a go, and my God, was it hard.
So let's talk about the miniatures then that you're doing. Particularly, you talk about that one with the mounted Knights Panther on the horse more than any of the others. Is that the most important submission that you're making? That's the one.
That's the one I'm putting the most effort into. Yeah.
It is, yeah. So describe that figure. I know we did so in the other podcast, but that's just.
So there was a White Dwarf cover back in the 90s by John Blanche, who used to be their main artist. He was their concept artist. And the model I'm reproducing is a typical knight on a horse, rearing up on a cliff edge. And Knights Panther is a group of knights from the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay game. It was just a piece of artwork that was then reproduced by a guy called Mike McVeigh, who was the White Dwarf figure painter. He converted it. I remember it being shown in White Dwarfs. It was awe-inspiring.
It has bought.
Yeah, this is a model they produce. I'm modifying it ever so slightly. So in the model that you buy, the guy's looking to the left. I've got to turn his head to looking to the right. And in the model you buy, his axe is up in the air, and I've got to make it facing downwards. So I've just got
to get it accurate to the image.
Or closer to the image.
Okay. And this is a figure you can buy now, or is it something you've had to go on eBay and find?
No, you can buy it. It's Games Workshop's parent company or secondary company called Forge World. So it's resin models. It's available to buy. And I have dreamed of painting this for years.
And how long do you think you might spend on doing it?
Honest guess, I'd say not under 300 hours. And like you said, you've got to learn when to stop, because if I put the wrong colour on the wrong bit, or if I accidentally move the brush, say I'm painting the blue robe and I get this tiniest amount of blue on a red knee patch or something like that, and they spot it and I don't, out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they look at this with a pretty detailed magnifying glass, right?
Well, so when you get to the finalist pins, the people are looking for what's wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They already know it looks great. So
Yep.
then they're looking for imperfections.
Yeah, correct. And the more imperfections you get, the less chance you've got of winning. So I spent about 6 hours trying to remove all the mold lines from this model. I'm going to be handing it to people to get them to look at it to see if they can find any mold lines. And if I've missed one and they've missed one, and there's one like underneath an armpit or just on the back end of a sword, or underneath a chin or something like that, out.
Out.
Yeah,
You've got
out.
no chance.
Nope. That's it, gone. That's the level you've got to get to.
And you've spoken already about the sort of extra complications you're introducing, the flourishes, you've spoken about the fleur-de-lis.
Remember, old armour used to have like things that kings used to wear. They weren't entirely usable, but in the arm they had like embossed shapes on it. And I tried to give it a go. But the problem is on the armour already, there's things already on there. It's bizarre. You've got to make them look like they flow behind the image that's on it. Yeah.
Tough, yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Couldn't you file down what's on there at the moment and just sort of apply
I could do, but I thought that I'm not a converter. I can't convert. I know I can't. So I thought I'd lean into what's in there. Every time Games Workshop released a model, they paint one from their heavy metal team who are like very good painters. And they've painted all this armour coloured. So it's all like gold, bronze, silver and all that sort of stuff. But mine's not going to be, and that's where my flourishes are going to come in. Knights Panthers, they have a blue tinge to their armour. I'm really tempted to try and add just the tiniest amount of blue to it. That's something I might play with. If I put that ink on it and it doesn't work,
back to begin.
All the way back to the beginning.
Have you bought more than one of these?
I could buy another one, but I'd have to start from
trash. Yeah, you wouldn't have enough time.
No.
What about the diorama? Have you got any other elements you're going to be producing with it?
Why, yes, Mark, I have. So
well, you'll be able to show me, but yeah, for the purpose of the podcast, a good description of what you're about to show.
It's not been opened yet, but can you see that?
It looks like a cling film sealed chair.
Yeah, bang on. The bottom of the plinth, this bit here that I'm pointing at, the block at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
The horse is going to go on that at an angle. The background,
the back of the chair. Yeah.
I'm gonna hand paint the scene on the back, like the clouds and the stars. And
wow! So it really is very, very similar to that White Dwarf cover, the old John Blanche artwork.
I need the horse coming off at an angle, so he's going to come off at an angle down here. I might cut into the wood a little bit, so it's like a chipboard. This goes back to the point of what I told you about America. It's about the story. So if I put the effort, technically, here's a catch-22 for you. Technically, they state on the website that the stand is not counted in the grading of the painted model. But I can tell you now, right, that it is the stand that sets you out from everyone else.
It sets you out, but they're not allowed to look for imperfections in the stand when it comes to the marking.
That's what they say, but I know that's a lie. so yeah.
Oh, fuck. There's a lot of work then to get that part right.
Yeah. Once I put the horse on the stand and then I put the knight on it, I've then got to shade the inside of the legs to make it look like there's shading in there, obviously, from where the horse is standing. There's a lot involved.
So I don't want to be too negative for this because it's a fantastic idea and we're all behind you. But what is the real risk here? What would be worst case scenario?
I don't even get a pin. I don't get anywhere. These Slayer sword winners, they sometimes end and they don't even place. They don't even place in the top 5, let alone anywhere else.
When they go outside of their original territory.
Yeah. So it's all a risk. I might not place anywhere, but I've won my fair share of competitions externally from Games Workshop ones. So I've got the ability. It's what the judge is looking for on that day. Yeah. And I have yet to see this model painted, which means, I guess in theory, there's a chance of there being 10 of them.
Oh, other people might have the same idea.
Yeah. There's the catch. Yeah.
Okay. How long has the model been available now? Recently?
Oh, yeah, a while. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just like it's come out in the last 12 months, in which case,
no, it's been a while.
Likely.
Yeah.
The other things that you're putting in, you said you're doing some Blood Bowl stuff, and that's where most of your wins have been, isn't it, within the Blood Bowl community?
Yeah, it goes back to that argument that I told you, that paint that you enjoy, and I love the game of Blood Bowl. I've got in my hand right now, there is a new edition of the game, and I've got it. My daughters play it. I've taught my daughters how to play Blood Bowl and things like that, so we have some fun with that. Because Blood Bowl models are a little bit comedy. There's 2-star players in the game. You must remember this. There was the human team called the Reichland Reavers, and there was Griffleberwald and the Mighty Zug. And the idea I've got is, in this little diorama I've made, Zug is punching his way through to let Griff, who's behind him, score.
Okay, I can imagine it because I've seen a lot of Blood Bowl artwork, and quite often there's those kind of scenes that people draw. It's Lord of the Rings. Which Lord of the Rings figure are you thinking of doing?
I don't know, because the Lord of the Rings models are smaller size. I mean, it doesn't sound a lot from 35 to 28, but it is.
Is there a game that Games Workshop sell for the Lord of the Rings, or is it just the figures?
No, they did Lord of the Rings. They did a Lord of the Rings game, Middle Earth. Yeah, they did that for a while. There really are some nice models. I just got to figure out which one to do, really. And then there's a new game coming out called Dark Quest, which was, if you remember, Warhammer Quest.
Yeah.
And they're bringing out a new game of that, a new version. And what I'm really tempted to do is paint all the heroes. So you have 5 heroes.
What category would they go into?
Open, so that's really risky. That is. So the open category is do what you want.
Yeah, how are you going to be taking it? Is it going to be taken in your luggage, or are you sending?
No, it's going to have to be in hand luggage. And the best way I think about transporting it is taking a clear Tupperware box and turning it 90 degrees, so the models are standing up in it. Okay. That's my plan. If it goes in the hold and you smash to pieces, that's the end of it, isn't it? That's the end of everything. So I'm going to have to take it in hand luggage, I think. Get the interesting looks from the customs people as they scan it and see these little models going through.
Brilliant. It was great to get a good idea of what this is all about. And when you're at the event, hopefully, and perhaps you could record something for us there. We don't need to be live streamed. If you could just take some pictures and maybe do a little self-interview or something, or we could let people know how you did. Yeah, like a pilgrimage, isn't it? Is what it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That's it for today. Little Mark's Golden Demon Journey. So I think we've set the stage nicely. Brilliant. Well, thanks, Mark. So we'll catch up with you again soon on this.
Yep, no problems.
Okay, mate. Cheers.
Bye-bye.